Hey, so if you click this video, you're probably launching your product or brand on Amazon right now, and you're wondering, what is the best launch strategy? How do I rank as high as possible, as fast as possible? So just like you, I just typed in Amazon launch strategy into YouTube, and I just watched the #1 ranked video. It was called Aggressive Amazon FBA Launch Strategy, rank #1 by brute force. And so in this video, I'm going to tell the truth. First of all, if this strategy is actually possible, whether I agree with it, and what I would change to make the strategy even better. And you probably have other questions such as how much inventory will I need? How much PPC budget will I need? How fast can I rank on page 1? And how fast can I be profitable? So in this video, I'm gonna cover all of those questions for you as well. And at the end, I'm gonna show you my step-by-step launch playbook that you can just copy. So first of all, what is this strategy that he is talking about in this video? Well, basically, it's just talking about having a break-even price. So just pricing below your competitors. And so is this a good strategy? Does it work? And can you rank #1 with it by brute force? I mean, well, yes and no. I mean, if your normal price is $50 and you price it at $20, then yeah, you might rank really high, but rank #1, I mean, probably not. That's because the algorithm usually reserves the #1 rank spot to products that are seasoned and have a lot of reviews. But can you rank in the top 10 or the top 20 just by pricing below your competitors? Yeah. And so this strategy is not new, of course. It's been around probably since the beginning of time. When you have a new product, price it low so you can gain market share. But the big question for you as a company that you need to think through is how low of a price exactly. In simple terms, it basically comes down to a function of your inventory and your budget / cash flow situation. And then also, like, how aggressive are you feeling, right? Everyone has their own comfort level. Like if you're someone that you want to, let's fucking push, we got the inventory, we got the cash, let's push, then all right, let's ride. Some people like to take a more slow and conservative approach, but overall it's going to depend on your inventory and your budget. Those are the limiting factors here, right? Also, if you're already selling on your website or other channels, you'll need to consider how launching on Amazon at a super low price affects those channels. If you're in retail, you might have MAP pricing that you obviously can't go below, so there's that. But basically, if you have enough inventory and you have enough cash, then you can price your product as low as your heart desires and rank as high as your heart desires. And yes, obviously, if you're pricing low, it's not going to be profitable at this price. So the general strategy in general, and that this video was talking about, is price super low at launch and then slowly raise it over time. If you're wondering how low of a price to go, the main thing is being below your main top 5 direct comparable competitors, because 80% of Amazon shoppers are price shoppers. So if you price below the lowest price option, you're going to get a flood of sales just from those price shoppers. Sounds great, Riley. So when should I start to raise the price, and how fast should I raise the price? Well, in general, you want to kind of let your high ranking marinate in the algorithm. And then once you have a satisfactory ranking on page 1 and 30+ reviews, raise your price by 5% every 2 weeks, and or make price adjustments that make sense for your goals. If your goal is purely market share, you have plenty of inventory, plenty of cash, then keep the price low for as low as you want. Raising 5% every 2 weeks is just an example framework, which we've used for clients. But as always, every product requires a custom strategy. There's no one size fits all. For example, we got the #1 new release badge for this dog shampoo product, in which we followed our launch playbook. Okay, so how much inventory will I need? Well, in short terms, as much inventory as you can, / as much as you're financially able / comfortable to send in. That might be 1,000 units, that might be 5,000 units. Also do this, look at Helium 10 or Jungle Scout to see how many your most similar competitors are selling monthly. Maybe they're selling 1,000 units a month. Now, does that mean you're going to sell 1,000 units in month 1 if you price lower than them? Maybe. But if you can, think like 3 months of inventory based on what your most comparable competitors are selling, and try to send in that much. But what's going to happen in reality is this: you're going to launch, and over the first 30 days, you're going to have some realistic idea of how much you're selling. And then after 30 days, you're gonna have a more realistic idea of how much inventory to send in for the first replenishment. So it's really just send in as much as you can at first, and then after a month or so, you'll have a better idea of how much more to send in. Pro tip, we use the Helium 10 inventory tracker tool. We find it helpful. How much PPC budget will I need, and do I need to spend PPC at all? Yes, you're gonna need to do Amazon ads. I haven't seen any successful launches that don't do Amazon ads personally, but if you know of success stories, feel free to put them in the comments. And similar to price, how much you're gonna spend depends on your goals, your inventory levels, and your budget/cash. What we typically do for our CPG and supplements clients is just set the daily budget at $100 a day, just because it's a nice round number and it's enough to start gathering data. And then we just make smart adjustments twice a week based on our goals for that product. That's it in a nutshell. But if you want to know how we set up our PPC campaigns for launch step by step, I have a full PPC setup crash course down below for a very low price. How fast you rank on page 1 is going to depend on how low your price is and how much you spend on PPC. And of course, the most important thing, how good your product is. But that's it in simple terms. The lower the price, the more you spend on PPC, the better your product, higher you're gonna rank. Can you rank super high on page 1 in the first 30 days? Of course, we've done it many times. For example, take this product. We launched them to page 1 within 30 days, and on month 2, they were at 100K a month. Now, of course, they had a great product, but we were able to strategically use price and ads to get them really high on page 1 for a really big search keyword, and that's how you make the big money. How fast can I be profitable? It's gonna depend on many things. For example, how long you're in the red to start out with, and how far you're in the red to start out with, and then how soon you start raising your price. So for many startups, it looks like this. You're starting off in the red, and then you're getting sales, and then at some point you break into the green, and that's gonna be some period of time, which I'll tell you what's a good realistic time to shoot for here in a second. And so overall, how I like to think of it and how I teach brands about this is think of year 1 as building your storefront, like your physical store. Like it takes a good amount of investment to build that store from scratch. You got to build a foundation, and then you got to actually build the structure, and then you got to make it look pretty. And then eventually, try to build up that traction to where you have people noticing your store, walking by, coming in, and then buying a lot of stuff at a high rate. It takes time to get there. Same thing with Amazon and the virtual Amazon mall. And so on Amazon, building up means building your reviews, your rank, and your sales velocity. So think of year 1 as building up these 3 things: reviews, rank, and sales. And in terms of price and PPC spend, try to hit break-even point around year 1. That's like a good rule of thumb that I use when I'm talking to companies, especially for competitive spaces such as supplements and CPG, where companies know there's a high lifetime value of a customer, so cost per clicks are expensive, so you really got to spend to get up there. Overall, if you can be at a break-even point around for your business and at 12 months, like that's a great spot to be in for any startup. Essentially, you've broken even, and now you have all of this Amazon real estate. You have this virtual Amazon real estate. You've got reviews, you're getting eyeballs, and you did that at 0 investment overall. That's great. So think long term. Year 1, shoot for break even, and hopefully you can hit that. Now, is it possible to be profitable on year 1? Of course it's possible. It's going to depend on many factors such as the competition of your niche, etc. And you can just play with the knobs of PPC and sale price to dial in for profitability whenever you want to. But if you do that early on, you might just not rank as high and just not sell at a high volume, but you may sell at a lower volume and a higher profit margin. So as a fun analogy, so I DJ sometimes for fun. And so as an Amazon seller, picture you are just a DJ at a DJ table, and you have only 2 knobs to play with. Those knobs are price and PPC. So you turn the price down, the sales go up.
You turn the PPC up, the sales go up. If you turn the price up, the sales go down. If you turn the PPC down, the sales go down. And so this is basically the tools that we have to play with as an agency. And during launch, these are the tools that we're playing with. And of course, we're balancing these tools, being aware of how much inventory we have and how much budget the client has / their cash flow situation. Every client, every company has a different situation of inventory and budget. And so you need to dial the price and the PPC to the exact place that makes sense for the goals for each product. And so launch is one thing. Let's say year one is like launch phase. All right, we're pushing for market share because we want to build up those reviews as fast as possible. Then after launch phase, let's say year 2, 3 and beyond, now our goal is to be at a profitable spot. So we're dialing up the price, we're dialing down the PPC, and we're trying to find that sweet spot of balance of sales velocity and inventory sell-through and profitability / cash flow situation that works for that brand / and that product and that company. And finding that sweet spot is actually one of the big whole things that we're doing for companies. Is we're monitoring, we're managing, we're making smart weekly adjustments with the price, with the PPC, looking at the inventory, seeing the play over here. Okay, wait, there's a delay in inventory. All right, we got to raise the price, we got to dial down the PPC. And so it's really only 2 variables. So it's not rocket science, but it just takes management oversight and making weekly adjustments basically.
Okay, so to recap, can you rank on page 1 really high by brute force? Well, ranking actually number 1 for your main keyword is probably impossible. That's probably just kind of clickbait, rank number 1. But in general, yeah, if you price really low, you're gonna rank really high. So overall, I tell brands this: think long term. Your big money is gonna come from year 2, 3, 4. And so the big milestone to hit is 1,000 reviews at 4+ stars. If you can hit that, it's what I call a home run product, and you're gonna be collecting passive income for that product for years to come. Because after you hit 1,000 reviews and have 4-star or above, you're just gonna be camped out on page 1 somewhere in the mix there and have what I call solidified Amazon real estate. So that's where the big money is made. The long-term cash flow being solid on page 1, not in the beginning stages. The whole point of it is to build up that real estate, that solid real estate, so we can collect passive income for potentially years and years. Speaking of getting to 1,000 reviews as fast as possible, my launch playbook involves a specific getting fast reviews strategy in the first 30 days. And you can click here to watch my full step-by-step launch strategy video, which goes over all of my 6 pillars of a successful launch step by step. So you can just copy that and follow that playbook. All right, see you over here in this video where you can keep learning.